so good to have you here again this week. We're going to jump on into this video that hopefully will give you lots of good inspiration with this dish called a creamy Tuscan sausage pasta. It was oh so delicious, and I'm going to jump into it now. First off, you're going to use a pound of Italian sausage. You're going to brown that up in a skillet on your stove top, and then you just want to remove that onto a paper towel lined plate to drain, and you're going to use the same skillet to make your cream sauce. Into a pot of boiling water, you're going to add your pasta. I am using bow tie, and I'm using the full 12-ounce box. The recipe called for 8 ounces, but I don't want to leave 4 ounces of pasta in the bottom of the box. So I am boiling up this whole 12-ounce box of pasta, and then here on my countertop here you can see the ingredients that we're going to use to make the cream sauce. So we have heavy cream, chicken broth, garlic powder, Italian seasoning, and Parmesan cheese. The sauce is very easy to put together. Alright, the recipe called for a half a cup of chicken broth, but since I bumped up a little bit of pasta, I decided to add a full cup of chicken broth. We need 2 cups of heavy cream. I'm sure half and half or milk would do just fine. And then next up for your dry seasonings, we need 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, and then next comes the Parmesan cheese, and it is 1 cup of Parmesan. And you are just going to use your whisk and start working that together, getting out any of the lumps and getting it all incorporated. Alright, the recipe called for a half a cup of sun-dried tomatoes. I don't particularly love sun-dried tomatoes, so I just used actually a little less than a half a cup of tomatoes chopped. I already had these in my refrigerator, so I just added those in. More tomatoes or less I'm sure would be just fine, but that's what I had on hand, so I put those in. And then it calls for spinach. I'm actually using kale because that's what I have on hand, and this is harvested from our garden and frozen, and so I'm just going to put in the 2 cups of kale into this cream sauce, and then we're going to get this all mixed together. Look at this sauce. It's kind of reducing down just a little bit, getting thicker. Make sure you always keep an eye on a sauce that is a milk base, because it is so easy to stick and burn, and you sure wouldn't want that to happen. Alright, after the sauce has come together, you just want to pour that over your pasta, or put your pasta in with the sauce, however you want to do it. I went this route because I knew my kettle was a little bit deeper and it would be a little easier to work with. And then you want to put in your sausage and give that all a good stir. I showed these breadsticks on my last What's for Dinner. They are cheese-filled breadsticks that we got at an Amish bulk food store. They are so good. I just do them in the air fryer. And then here is a look at the pasta dish all plated up. I'm just topping it with some extra Parmesan cheese. This was absolutely delicious. It is a new favorite. I will be making this again. It reheated great as leftovers. Look in the description box below for the link to the recipe, and I will also type it out. If you think this looks good, you definitely ought to try it. We really loved it. Okay, this one was a really fun meal. I'm going to show you how to take this beautiful fresh pineapple and then just items from your pantry and your freezer and pull together a very quick meal that looks really impressive, that did not lack at all on flavor. So first off, we are going to start with this bagged frozen orange chicken I cooked it in my air fryer. The instructions tell on the back a few different options, but that's how I decided to cook it up. I just put it in my air fryer basket and followed, I'm not sure, I think there were air fryer directions. If not, I just looked it up online. You can basically find air fryer directions for anything. So I got that in my air fryer and got that cooking and decided to make some ramen on the side, similar to a dish that we like to get at a hibachi place near us. They serve rice and noodles. It's called shogun, I believe. So that was kind of the idea for that. And then I have this bag of Knorr chicken flavor fried rice from my pantry. I'm going to be also using that. So here's the chicken after it's all cooked up, kind of golden brown. And then you just put the sauce that comes with the package there over top and mix it very, very well. Then what the fun part of this recipe is, I just cut the pineapple in half lengthwise, hollowed it out, and I served my fried rice from the pineapple, and it really took on the delicious flavor from the pineapple. I had left some of the bits on the inside there, the pineapple, so when we scooped it out, we had some of that in with the rice. Here is the chicken and the noodles on the side. This was really, really good. I've been trying to cook from my pantry and from my freezer, but I just wanted to take it up a notch, and I had this pineapple already, so I just thought, hey, why not serve it this way? This is also inspired from a Thai restaurant that we like to visit. They have a pineapple rice dish served this way. So here it is all plated up. We just put some crushed red pepper flakes on the top. It was very good. It was quick, and it sort of helped with that Asian food craving that we had. And so this one was a really good dinner this night. Hi guys, tonight for dinner I am making a smoky chipotle mustard, panko and Parmesan crusted chicken tenders. So this is one boneless skinless chicken breast. It's been marinating all day in this smoky chipotle mustard. And then I basically just cut it up into chicken tender size pieces. Now I'm gonna start working on what's gonna go on top, and then we're gonna bake this off in the oven. So I have been using this Kinder's blend. It's called the blend. It's the garlic, salt and pepper. The only thing I would say on this, the holes are kind of big, I feel like, and it comes out kind of quick, and then it's pretty heavy on the salt side. So you just kind of want to be easy with this, because I have gotten things too salty with this. It's a new one for me, and it comes out pretty quick, and the salt is pretty good sized, more kind of like salt crystals, or I don't know, just bigger granules, I guess. All right, so I think that's gonna be plenty. And then I'm also gonna go in with next some of this, and this is really the kind of the star of the show. It's this Dillman Farms. It's made in Bloomington, Indiana, which is not too far from us. And it's really, really good. It kind of makes you think of a McDonald's, the hot mustard to dip, nuggets in or whatever. Kind of makes you think of that. Like I said, this has been marinating in this all day already. What I'm gonna do is just go over it with a little bit more, and this will kind of help the cheese and the panko to adhere onto this. So let me get a fork. All right, I'm just gonna kind of, nothing real scientific, but just kind of want to spread this around a little bit, and I'm gonna get the underside here by borrowing from the neighbor. I don't need a bunch, but just enough to kind of hold things together, although it's going to hold anyways, but it'll give it some great flavor. All right. Now those are looking good. And yes, I could have mixed this all together in a bowl and say the panko and the parm, but I just really don't see any reason to. This is going to work out just fine, but you do how you want to do it when you're in your kitchen. Okay, so there's a little bit of the parm. I'm gonna go over with the panko. And then I'm just gonna press down. There doesn't have to be a heavy coating on this. Okay, this is looking good. Now I'm gonna turn them all over. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the back side with the parm and the panko. All right, parm and panko, here we go again. Okay, and now with the panko. All right, and again, we're just gonna kind of press that in. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna let these sit for just a minute while I get my baking dish out and prepared. All right, I've got my glass baking dish sprayed with cooking spray, and I'm just gonna add my chicken in. I'm going to do is go in with just a little bit of parsley flakes. Always adds just a pop of freshness when you see that green on there. And then I think these bake for about 20-25 minutes. I'm just going to keep an eye on them, and I'm going to bake them on 350.
Gigi said she wants to get 5 billion and 1 million likes in this 2 days.
That's right. I like that idea.
So try to give her that many likes and subscribes.
That's right.
And all of you, when I grow up, I'll actually be a YouTuber.
What kind of videos are you doing?
I'm gonna make game videos, and I will be looking forward to get 9,000 and 1 billion likes in 1 day.
Right. And you want to subscribe to me?
And I all love you guys very much. And bye.
Here the chicken is out of the oven. I kept a close eye on it because I did not want to over bake it and dry it out. It got all crispy. It was very moist and tender. It was really, really good. And we just had a side salad. Here it is all made up. We just had some veggies underneath the toppings there. And I bought this Kraft creamy French dressing. It was really, really delicious. And then while the chicken was baking, I had baked potatoes in the oven, and that's what we served alongside. This was a really yummy dinner, and the chicken was really good, heated up in the air fryer for leftovers the next day. While I didn't film the cooking of this meal, I wanted to show it to you. We have a couple big pot roasts that we did in the crock pot, and I did mashed potatoes, homemade macaroni and cheese, some cooked carrots. My mother-in-law made the green beans. They were canned from garden green beans. We had these delicious yeast rolls that she made. She's so good at making those. I tried a new recipe for a skillet honey butter corn. This was a really yummy family meal we enjoyed together. Spending time together means the world, and then when you have a delicious meal to go along with it, what more can you ask for? The last two things that I'm going to show you here are some things that I made. They're not necessarily dinners, but this is a ranch flavored oyster cracker, and then I'm going to show you a recipe for brown Betties. I've made those on my channel before, I'm pretty sure, but I wanted to include these in the video here because they're both delicious and easy, and I thought you might enjoy seeing these recipes. I am getting ready to make some ranch flavored oyster crackers. So you need 16 ounces of oyster crackers. I have two different kinds here. So this bag was like 12 ounces, and then these smaller ones in the bottom, I had about a half a bag. So, or a little less. So this is about 16 ounces. You put those in a gallon-sized Ziploc bag. You're going to need just a very few ingredients. You need some oil, 1/4 a cup. I'm using canola because that's what I have. And these things are going to get mixed into a bowl here before you pour it over the crackers. So the canola oil, we need 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. All right, that's going in. I'm just going to shake in some black pepper. Not a ton, but I want a little. And then I need 2 tablespoons of ranch seasoning. I'm going to use this. This is what I have on hand. So I'm going to just put in 2 tablespoons of the ranch seasoning. And of course, that's where the majority of the flavor is gonna come from. Next, I'm just gonna mix these things together. Smells really good already, and it looks really good. Okay, that looks great. And then next, I'm gonna pour this in over my crackers. So let's get that open. And in it goes. You wanna get every bit of that seasoning in there. Okay, that's all in. You just want to seal up your bag. Make sure it's really good and sealed. And then you're just going to mix it around until it looks like everything has gotten coated. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to get these on my baking pan. They're going to bake for just a little bit in the oven. I will tell you that as soon as I come back after I get this all mixed together. All right, and so you want to preheat your oven to 250, and then you're gonna put these on a cookie sheet, ungreased. Spread them out, and these are gonna bake for 20 to 25 minutes. And of course, you will know your oven, so if you wanna start checking them a little sooner, that's probably not a bad idea. It would be a shame for these to burn. I've never made these before, so I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on them while they're in my oven. But they look really, really good. I can see all the seasoning throughout. And I think they're gonna be really, really tasty. We're having a chili dinner at our church tomorrow, and I thought this would be fun to have to go along with our chili supper, or chili dinner. Okay, these are going in the oven. All right, here they are out of the oven. I baked mine for 20 minutes, and they look just perfect to me. So I am just gonna leave them out, let them cool, and they will be put into a storage container and ready for tomorrow. So you have to give these a try. All right, in this last recipe I'm going to show you here, these are called brown Betties. This is one of our family's very favorite appetizers, and anytime I take these anywhere, they are gobbled up, and I usually have people asking for the recipe. They are so tasty and could not be easier. So into your skillet, you're going to brown up 1 pound of sausage. I prefer breakfast sausage on this. This was actually Jimmy Dean's here. Just want to brown it up and remove the grease from the pan. Your next ingredient is Worcestershire sauce, and you are just going to shake some in. I don't even really recall when I was given this recipe if she even told me how much. So you just shake in some Worcestershire, and then you're just going to stir that together. I got this from a friend of mine. She served this up at a get-together, and then she just told me how to make it word of mouth. So shake in some Worcestershire sauce, I don't know, probably a couple tablespoons, and then you're going to use 1 pound of Velveeta cheese, or a Velveeta similar style cheese. You're just going to chunk that up and let that melt into your sausage till it becomes just a really nice creamy cheesy sausage mixture. After that cooks together, it will continue to release some grease that will be from the cheese and from the sausage. I just go in with a paper towel and dab that all off, because the less grease on there, the better. So just go ahead and remove that off if you see an excess on top there once it's cooked together. Now the recipe calls for cocktail bread, which is this pumpernickel, but you can also use the little French baguette or the little crostini pre-sliced breads. I had a little bit of both in my freezer that I wanted to finish up. So my sausage mixture has cooled down here. I made it earlier in the day, so that's why it looks a little more solidified, but I am just using my cookie scoop. That's what I always do, to put my sausage mixture on top of the bread. And then you just want to bake that in the oven for, I don't know, 10, 12 minutes. It doesn't take long at all. It crisps up the bread. It gets the cheesy sausage all spread out to cover the bread, and it is just so, so delicious. Here is a look after they are all done. Well, friends, thank you so much for tuning into this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found some inspiration. Give it a big thumbs up if you did. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I would love to have you part of our YouTube channel, or if you think you're subscribed, double check to make sure you are. That happens from time to time. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of the fun. All right, y'all. We'll see you the next time.